I am so overwhelmed by all of the information out there about how to support my child with ADHD. I just don't know where to start. If you have ever thought something like this, then you are definitely in the right place because that's what I'm going to answer today. And I used to say that to myself all the time when I was starting my journey with my son who has ADHD. I'm Dana Kay, a board certified holistic health practitioner, and I work with families all across the USA, helping them to support their children with ADHD through food and natural strategies. Today, I want to help take that overwhelm out of the picture by providing a clear, concise framework to help you know what dietary changes need to be made to best support your child with ADHD. Before we jump in, I want to invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I release new videos here on YouTube several times a week, and by subscribing, you will not miss any of them. So hit that button now. So let's dive in. I probably say this over and over again, and you may have heard me say it before if you've been following me, but it's so important that it's definitely worth repeating. When you are building a house and you don't have a solid foundation, the house is going to fall down. Diet has to be the foundation of any plan, even a traditional medical plan or a natural holistic plan. It's really, really important to remember that. So you're probably wondering, where do you start with diet? If anyone asks me what the number one tip is, I will always say you want to remove the foods that inflame the gut, and those are gluten, dairy, and soy. This should always be the first course of action in any dietary plan. Then we want to really look at the foods that show a reaction on the food sensitivity test. So when we went through this process with my son, he was really reactive to raspberries. I mean, who would have thought raspberries? So we removed them from his diet so we could really work on healing his gut. This wasn't permanent for us, but it was really, really important because it allowed us to work on his gut without it being constantly pounded with foods that were aggravating it. Next, you want to reduce the amount of refined sugars and artificial sweeteners. So instead, you can use things like natural sweeteners, things like honey, maple syrup, and dates. You also want to avoid artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, and MSG. I know you might be wondering, how do you do that with so much candy and processed foods our kiddos have access to today? But remember, there are always substitutes that don't contain these nasties. One of the things I do when working with families is make sure they know good substitutes for everything. You can't just take everything out of a child's diet. These are kids. They need to be able to still be kids. There are ways to work around dietary changes, so it's really important that they can have those special treats just like their friends are having. Next, you want to choose organic, non GMO where possible. Now, you don't have to choose organic and non GMO for everything. I like to use the EWG website, which is ewg.org. On there, you can get the Clean 15 list and the Dirty Dozen list. You want to definitely buy organic with any items on the Dirty Dozen, but you can buy generic for the Clean 15, and everything else in between is up to you based on your budget. You also want to focus on eating whole, fresh fruits and veggies, grass fed animal protein like meats, eggs, poultry, fish, and healthy fats such as avocado, coconut, and olive oils. Next, you want to be drinking lots and lots of spring water. Water is such a great critical piece of detoxification, and we need to detoxify in our body. So make sure and provide lots of it to your child. And lastly, if you do need to go further with diet, there might actually be some underlying tricky issues going on with your kiddo. Some kids can have sensitivities to certain chemical compounds found in foods. So things like oxalates, which are found in kale and spinach, salicylates that are found in apples, things like amines, glutamates. But you might need a practitioner to help you if you need to go deeper because this can get quite complicated. So, hopefully, that answers that question and helps you know what the first steps are in any dietary action plan. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Remember, diet has to be the foundation of any plan that you go forward with. If you need any additional support making these changes, my team and I are always happy to help. You can book a free call with us by using the link in the description below. Take care and bye for now.